Hi there. Today I'm going to give a brief overview of our upcoming Space Stations EAP and how it's going to help our customers simplify telemetry ingestion. A quick overview of what I'm going to cover in this session is what's currently being built, when will it be available, both the EAP and GA timelines, who will be impacted by the changes, and the long-term plan as it currently stands. Let's start with Space Stations 101. There are a couple of tech changes in terminology that you should be aware of as part of this release. The first is microsatellites. Microsatellites are a simplified satellite that receives spans from instrumented services and forward them to the Lightstep SAS. Space Stations, a new Lightstep service that will receive, process, and store span data from microsatellites for the Lightstep UI to query for trace assembly. What will this look like in production? Our current deployment model looks like this. Instrumented services send data to satellites located within customer environments. Those satellites then process the data and send it across the public internet to the Lightstep SAS. Customers have had challenges with the satellite architecture in the past, most notably different configurations across their satellites that results in different recall depending on where that satellite is located, as well as additional costs associated with satellite infrastructure. Let's take a look at the new architecture model and how it will change from the satellite to microsatellite model. In our EAP, customers will still instrument their services, but will instead send the data to a microsatellite. These microsatellites are much smaller and do not process the data in the same way that satellites do. The microsatellites will then send that data across the public internet to space stations to process the data before sending to the Lightstep SAS. In GA, we're hoping to improve upon this model by peering the space stations and microsatellites within the customer environment. This will allow our customers and prospects to save on network egress costs, making the microsatellites space station architecture more economically viable for the majority of our customers. Let's talk about timelines. Currently, space stations are in an alpha state. They will move to an EAP status in January. There is no current GA date for space stations. What we will be doing throughout the EAP process is releasing features on top of the space station architecture. The first feature that we're aiming to release is a feature X, which will enable longer trace retention up to 1 hour for our customers. Let's take a look at this by the numbers, comparing satellites versus microsatellites. Because of the way microsatellites process information, we expect our customers to see a benefit in that their compute costs will decrease by about 97%. However, because of the way that microsatellites transmit data across the public internet, we do expect our customers in our EAP to see an increase in their network cost by about 226%. However, this will result in a net benefit to our customers in that we're expecting our customers to see a decrease in their total cost of ownership by about 66% when they move to the microsatellite model. In addition to the microsatellites, there's the space station cost to take into account. The space station pricing model is going to be a usage-based pricing model charging 1.5 cents per gigabyte for EAP customers. We're expecting them to see a cost of between $3.7 and $47,000 for the space stations, dependent on the bytes ingested. The customers in the EAP will see a major benefit, though, in terms of their retention periods for space stations. These will be set at 1 hour across all projects. Combining the savings due to the microsatellites, the additional costs associated with space stations, we do expect our EAP customers to see a decrease of about 35% in their total cost of ownership when they move to the space station and microsatellite architecture. What's next for space stations? Beyond the EAP, we are going to look at building features on top of the space station architecture. One of the big features that we are looking to roll out is the ability to query data for longer periods of time. So, as we mentioned, everyone in our EAP is currently going to get 1 hour of data retention that they can query. In GA, this will be configurable. This is something that we are very excited about for our customers. Our next focus will be on resolving peering between microsatellites and space stations. The network egress costs, as they currently stand, are significantly higher, and the overall benefit may be smaller for some customers. Thank you for watching this training video, and look forward to more information coming up about our Space Station EAP and how it's going to help our customers simplify their telemetry ingestion.